Have you ever felt overwhelmed by anger that seems to control your life? Imagine if you could transform that anger into an energy that fosters inner peace, creativity, and personal growth. Welcome to where we merge timeless Buddhist wisdom with modern psychological insights and mindfulness practices, offering you practical self-growth strategies for a balanced life. In the next few moments, we'll begin a journey to understand the root of your anger, identify how expectations may be fueling your frustration, and learn actionable methods to master the fire within. Today, you are invited to discover effective ways to shift reactive emotions into mindful responses and ultimately build daily habits that empower you to stay peaceful and triggered-free. Let's embark on this transformative path together. In this video, we break down our insights into 8 transformative sections designed to guide you toward mastering your emotions with both ancient wisdom and modern insights. Section 1: The Root of All Anger, Understanding the Real Cause. Anger, at its core, is not merely an emotional reaction, it's a signal that something deeper requires our attention. In Buddhist philosophy, anger is often seen as arising from delusions and misunderstandings about the nature of reality. Our attachments and cravings for things to be a certain way create a fertile ground for discontent. Modern psychology supports this notion by showing that anger frequently masks underlying emotions like fear, hurt, or disappointment. Visualize your anger as an alarm bell, signaling an unresolved issue in your inner world. Rather than allowing the destructive force of anger to dictate your actions, consider it an invitation to explore what lies beneath. Ask yourself, what unmet need or lingering insecurity is hidden behind this fiery emotion? By reflecting on these questions, you begin to dismantle the automatic reactions rooted in past experiences. Through mindfulness meditation, you can observe your anger without judgment, a practice that allows for clarity and insight to blossom over time. In this section, we introduce the concept that anger is a manifestation of deeper insecurities and attachments. Rather than suppressing or denying it, embracing this emotion with curiosity can open the door to profound personal transformation. As you internalize these insights, realize that every instance of anger is a learning opportunity, a moment where ancient wisdom meets the practical strategies of modern psychology. Section 2: How Expectations Fuel Your Frustration. Our expectations are powerful forces that shape how we perceive the world. They create a mental blueprint of how life should unfold, leading us to feel frustrated and angry when reality deviates from these preset images. In Buddhism, clinging to expectations is seen as a fundamental cause of suffering. The insistence that life must be a certain way fosters disappointment when life's unpredictable nature inevitably intervenes. Modern psychology corroborates this by noting that high or rigid expectations often set us up for recurring cycles of frustration and emotional turmoil. When you expect too much, whether from yourself or others, the resulting gap between expectation and experience becomes a breeding ground for anger. Consider the simple act of planning your day. When unexpected obstacles arise, your carefully structured schedule falters, and with it, your peace of mind. A transformative approach lies in cultivating flexible, realistic expectations. Practice reframing your mindset by acknowledging that life is inherently dynamic. Instead of saying, "Everything must go as planned," try adopting the thought, "I welcome the unexpected as a chance to learn and grow." With this adjustment, each deviation from your plan becomes an opportunity rather than a source of frustration. As you integrate this shift, your emotional reactions evolve, and you begin to experience greater resilience against the disturbances of daily life. Section 3: Buddhist Wisdom, Mastering the Fire Within. Buddhist teachings offer profound insights into managing emotions and transcending suffering. Central to this is the practice of mindfulness, the art of developing sustained awareness over your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. Mindfulness meditation allows you to observe the fire of anger without immediately reacting to it. Instead of being swept away by the flames, you become a quiet observer of your inner experiences. One essential Buddhist concept is non-attachment. By releasing clinging to transient thoughts and emotions, you create space for clarity and calm. Recognize that anger, like all emotions, is impermanent. It arises, exists for a time, and then dissipates. Embracing this truth not only diminishes the hold anger has on you but also empowers you with the knowledge that you are not defined by your emotional states. Scientific research in neuroscience further substantiates this perspective. Studies have revealed that regular mindfulness practice can physically rewire the brain to improve emotional regulation and reduce stress responses. Techniques such as focusing on your breath or performing a body scan enable you to break the habitual cycle of reactive anger. Over time, these practices deepen your capacity for self-compassion, allowing you to respond to challenges with a calm, balanced demeanor. By integrating these Buddhist principles, you learn to master the fire within, transforming it from a source of pain into a catalyst for growth and insight. Every moment of mindfulness is a testament to your inner strength, inviting you to engage with life from a place of wisdom and serenity. Section 4: Mindful Responses versus Emotional Reactions. In life's most trying moments, our instinct is to react impulsively. However, distinguishing between a mindful response and an emotional reaction can dramatically change how we manage our anger. A mindful response involves pausing, breathing deeply, and giving yourself a moment to choose a considerate path forward rather than being driven by uncontrolled emotion. When you experience anger, the first impulse might be to lash out or say something you regret later. Instead, consider the benefits of applying the stop technique, a simple yet powerful method for creating a pause between stimulus and response. STOP stands for S for stop and recognize your current emotional state. T for take a moment to breathe and center yourself. O for observe the triggers and underlying feelings without judgment. P for proceed with a response that aligns with your values and long-term goals. This technique not only mitigates the intensity of your anger but also cultivates a habit of introspection. When you choose a mindful response, you engage the higher reasoning centers in your brain, paving the way for more balanced and constructive outcomes. This method is especially critical in relationships and work environments, where miscommunication can easily escalate conflict. Embracing mindful responses over emotional reactions enables you to transform interpersonal challenges into opportunities for growth. With deliberate pause and reflection, every instance of anger becomes a stepping stone toward a more compassionate and deliberate life. Section 5: The Power of Pausing Before You Speak. Words are powerful, capable of healing or hurting, uniting or dividing. In the midst of anger, our immediate reaction is to speak impulsively, often deepening the conflict. Buddhist teachings underscore the importance of pausing before speaking, a practice that creates a reflective space for choosing words that calm rather than inflame. Consider this: when anger surges, give yourself permission to remain silent momentarily. This pause, though brief, is transformative. It allows your inner awareness to temper your emotional intensity, ensuring that your words align with a higher truth. By pausing, you move from automatic reaction to considered response, fostering an environment where empathy and connection can thrive. In practical terms, this means training yourself to recognize when your emotions are taking over and deciding consciously to hold back. Techniques such as counting to 10, taking a few deep breaths, or even mentally reciting a calming mantra can be particularly effective. Over time, these practices become ingrained habits that shield you from saying things you might later regret. The power of a pause is profound. It transforms your communication, inviting you into a space where dialogue becomes constructive and respectful. In moments of conflict, every second of silence can pave the way for clarity, reducing the risk of misunderstandings and fostering deeper, more meaningful connections with those around you. Section 6: Turning Anger into Compassion and Clarity. What if you could transform anger from a destructive force into a wellspring of compassion and clarity? This transformative approach is at the heart of both Buddhist wisdom and contemporary psychology. Instead of perceiving anger as an adversary, reframe it as an alert, a signal that there is unresolved pain or unmet needs waiting to be addressed. Central to this transformation is the practice of loving-kindness meditation, or metta, which gently shifts your focus from self-centered anger to universal compassion. By directing feelings of goodwill towards yourself and others, you dissipate the harsh energy of anger and replace it with warmth and understanding. Visualize the process. picture your anger as a burning flame. Now imagine a gentle rain of compassion slowly dousing that fire, cooling the heat and gradually illuminating the path to clear, rational thinking. This mental imagery isn't merely poetic, it serves as a powerful tool for realigning your emotional responses and fostering inner serenity. In practical application, turning anger into compassion involves acknowledging your feelings without judgment and then consciously choosing empathy over retribution. Reflect on the circumstances that triggered your anger and try to understand the perspective of everyone involved. This shift in perspective not only softens the immediate emotional pain but also encourages a broader, more compassionate view of life's challenges. As you integrate this approach, you will find that moments of intense anger begin to diminish. Over time, your emotional landscape transforms into one that is rich with clarity, self-compassion, and a deep, abiding sense of calm. This transformation is not instant but comes with persistent practice and a commitment to viewing every emotional experience as an opportunity for growth. Section 7. Why forgiveness isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Many mistakenly believe that forgiving someone equates to condoning their actions or showing weakness. However, in both Buddhist teachings and modern psychological practice, forgiveness stands as one of the most courageous and transformative acts a person can undertake. It is, in fact, a profound display of strength and wisdom. Holding on to anger and resentment is like carrying a heavy burden that weighs you down, preventing you from moving forward with peace and clarity. Forgiveness liberates you from this encumbrance, enabling you to release the grip of past hurts. It is not about forgetting or justifying the wrongdoing, it is about reclaiming your power and choosing a path of self-healing. Reflect on what it means to forgive. Consider that every time anger resurfaces, it may be calling you to examine a painful memory or unresolved issue. By practicing forgiveness, you acknowledge the hurt, learn from the experience, and let go of its lingering effects. This process is liberating. It frees you to embrace life with an open heart, devoid of the weight of grudges and negative emotions. Modern research reinforces the mental health benefits of forgiveness. Studies have shown that individuals who adopt forgiveness experience lower levels of stress, better emotional regulation, and an improved sense of overall well-being. The strength of forgiveness lies in its ability to transform destructive energy into a force for healing and personal growth. By choosing forgiveness, you open the door to true emotional resilience. Rather than remaining trapped in cycles of anger and retribution, you step into a space of compassion and clarity, empowering you to respond to life with a renewed sense of purpose and inner peace. Section 8. Daily habits to stay peaceful, not triggered. In today's fast-paced world, maintaining inner peace can be both challenging and essential. Daily habits and mindful practices serve as the foundation for a calm, resilient mind that is less likely to be triggered by external stressors. In this final section, we outline practical strategies that integrate both ancient Buddhist teachings and modern self-care techniques. Begin your day with a mindful meditation session. Even 5 to 10 minutes of intentional breathing and reflection can set the tone for the rest of your day. Incorporate simple practices such as stretching, gentle yoga, or a brief walk in nature to reconnect with your body and ground your thoughts. These exercises not only help manage physical tension but also pave the way for emotional equanimity. Establish regular intervals for self-reflection. Whether through journaling, quiet contemplation, or mindful observation of your thoughts, these moments can serve as a checkpoint to assess your emotional state. Recognize patterns, celebrate small victories, and adjust your practices accordingly. A disciplined yet compassionate self-check helps you identify potential triggers before they escalate into overwhelming anger. Another vital practice is to set clear boundaries. In our interconnected world, constant information and social media can easily overload your senses. Designate times during your day for digital detox, allowing your mind to recharge and remain focused. By creating healthy boundaries, you reduce stress and prevent unnecessary exposure to aggravating influences. Engage in regular self-care, activities that nurture your spirit and bring you joy. Whether it's reading a book, spending time with loved ones, or exploring creative pursuits, these habits contribute to a well-rounded, fulfilling life. Self-care is not selfish, it is the cornerstone of maintaining your inner balance and remaining anchored during turbulent times. Incorporate gratitude practices into your routine. Take a moment each day to reflect on the positive aspects of your life. Whether you jot down a few thoughts in a gratitude journal or silently acknowledge them during meditation, this practice shifts your focus from what's lacking to what is abundant in your life. Over time, a consistent gratitude practice fosters a resilient mindset that naturally diminishes the intensity of anger. Lastly, remember that growth is a continuous journey. As you integrate these habits and practices into your daily routine, be gentle with yourself. Change requires time, patience, and persistence. Every mindful breath, every moment of self-reflection, and every act of self-care contributes to a deeper, more enduring sense of peace. Through disciplined practice, you gradually build an internal sanctuary, a state of being that remains unshaken by external chaos. As we reach the end of this comprehensive journey, take a moment to reflect on all that we have explored together. In our time together, we have navigated the intricate pathways that lead from the very roots of anger to its transformation into a beacon of compassion and clarity. We began by unraveling the deeper causes of anger, acknowledging that anger is not an isolated emotion, but a complex interplay of deep-seated fears, unmet needs, and intrusive expectations. Recognizing this, we learned that anger is ultimately a teacher, an internal signal urging us to examine our attachments and to embrace change. As you reflect on these themes, consider how integrating these practices into your daily life can set you on a transformative journey toward emotional freedom and creative fulfillment. The path to inner peace is not linear or instantaneous, it is an ongoing process of learning, reflecting, and evolving. Each mindful breath you take, every pause before a reaction, and every compassionate act is a step forward on this sacred journey of self-improvement. I encourage you to share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Let's build a community of mindful individuals who support and inspire one another in the pursuit of inner peace and personal growth. Subscribe to Mindful Pathway Media for more transformative content that blends the enduring wisdom of Buddhism with practical strategies from modern psychology. Remember, the journey of transformation begins with a single step. Embrace your anger as a teacher, let go of rigid expectations, and nurture the inner space where mindfulness and compassion reside. With patience and persistence, you can reframe your emotional landscape and cultivate a life filled with clarity, balance, and joy. Thank you for joining me today on this enlightening exploration. May you continue to move forward on your path with courage, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to inner peace.